Warm greetings from the high 10. It's Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. Breezy, breezy, breezy in the high 10, but also sunny. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This week's movie series of the week is airing on Showtime. The First Lady, first episode aired last night. Season 1, episode 1. Aired last night on Showtime. For those of you who have Showtime, please go on to YouTube Q to my community posts to see the post of the said series. I will play you a snippet of the trailer in case you're interested in watching the TV series. It is pertaining to the first ladies who accompanied the president at that time in the White House. Now, Michelle Obama. Are they giving an actual portrayal of you in this TV series? I'm curious. Holler at the queen and let her know. I'm just wondering. I'm going to give you a little bit of a synopsis. Whoops, sorry about that.
This is the story of...
Jumping off there for a minute. Hold on one second. Here we go.
How do you really feel about being first lady?
In 4 years, I don't want to look back and think, what did I become living in that house?
It is my great honor to introduce to you the First Lady of the United States. Oh, still got it.
Never lost it.
The First Lady has to be a special kind of woman.
I can't have you backseat driving.
They want to turn me into a Black Martha Stewart? I will pick my team, choose my causes, understood?
I knew what you were getting into.
You kept your political dreams a secret from me. I'll be here for you. I am going to be myself.
My hands are tied.
Don't push me off. I am your wife, not one of your girlfriends. You are the husband of a wife who has a mind and a life of her own. They think I should keep my mouth shut. This is your chance to make history.
I'm just terrified for my girls.
I couldn't bear to watch you destroy yourself.
I have done everything I was supposed to do.
The world is always going to judge us.
They can kick me out, but they can't make me somebody I'm not.
All right, everybody. That's the trailer for First Lady airing on Showtime. First episode aired last night. I will check it out today and get back with you all on my on my opinion of the said TV show. Let me give you a synopsis of what the show is about. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. A revelatory reframing of American leadership through the lens of the First Ladies, starring Viola Davis, amen, as Michelle Obama, Michelle Pfeiffer as Betty Ford, and Gillian Anderson as Eleanor Roosevelt. This series delves deep into the ladies' personal and political lives, exploring everything from their journeys to Washington, family life, world-changing political contributions. The impact of the White House's women is no longer hidden from view. Season 1, episode 1, aired last night on Showtime. That's my movie series of the week. Thank you for joining me. And for all my Crime Vault fans, I have not forgotten about you. I'm a couple of weeks behind because of all this other foolishness and breaking news. I will try to bring you a Crime Vault by the end of tonight. I will be doing back-to-back lives today. So join the queen. Hang with me all day because I'm going to bring you the business in breaking news. The next live is pertaining to a very horrendous case out of South Carolina of a husband who's pled guilty to facilitation of aiding murder. His wife murdered their foster child. This is a black couple who fostered 3 white children. Most of you heard this story. I reported on this story last year. Please go into my library for the said commentary. The child was beat to death, and he decided to plead guilty. He's going to wait till his wife goes to trial May 9th. His attorney asked the judge to be fair in the sentencing between 10 to 20 years. He deserves more than that. He deserves more than 20 years because he knew his wife had been beating the child. He's admitted that in open court. And I will play you that commentary after this live. I will also bring you some other breaking news. So it will be a live with different stories intertwined in the live as to save my time on going live for different stories. Thank you all so much for joining me. Okay, we're going to get down to business now. Here we go. Once again, I'm going to piggyback off of Mr. Dolly Vision when he talked to a Miss Betty in a live pertaining to this case of little girl lost, the neighbors. In that commentary, Betty says that neighbors were flagging them down when they were last here visiting in the Holler to tell them about what was going on allegedly up at 110 Ben Circle Way. Now, you're entitled to believe what you want of what she said happened, didn't happen, but it goes something like this. These neighbors are alleging, I don't know if it's 1, 2, 3, 5, how many, I don't know. I don't even know if I believe what was said, but anywho, that Candace and Boy H had something going on. So what I want to say to that commentary is this. Did you, neighbor A, B, C, D, E, call officials that you thought that the Candace Bly was having interrelations with a child? I'll wait, because I'm sure I won't get an answer. Did you, neighbor A, B, C, D, E, call officials to say that you believe you have evidence of receipts that Candace Bly was having relations with a boy child? Because if not, then what you were repeating to this Miss Betty and her cohorts is gossip. 2, how can you see up the hill what the hell was going on up there? I'll wait. This is where the Jeopardy music comes in. All right, can you hear it? Yeah, right. You can't see the house from the road, from my understanding. The few times I've seen people film down by the driveway, I couldn't see the house. All I could see were trees, gravel, broke up concrete. So what is it that you saw pertaining to Candace and her company? Guess. I'm just wondering. As I said, did you, Mr. and Mrs. Neighbor, call officials to say you have information that a grown woman was having interrelations with a child? How do you know she was having relations with a child? Did you see her doing anything suspicious with the child, felonious with the child, hugging him, kissing him, groping him, making derogatory comments toward the child? Number 3, the obvious. The only way you would know that Candace Bly was having relations with a child or any other man besides her husband is if you were also up on the mount. Bingo card. Come on with it, Quay. You see, I'm very leery of people who come out after the fact with the he said and the she said, because it's all about interpretation and perception. What do I believe? Do I believe these damn hillbillies? Yeah, I'm going to talk about y'all tonight. Well, this afternoon. Excuse my manners. Don't get offended because I'm calling you out your damn name, because all of you all are making a mockery out of this disappearance of a child. So I'm going to give you what you want. Everybody wants to be famous off of YouTube. YouTube is not going to make any of you famous. Let me tell you that before I get started. I've been up here a few years and I'm not famous. So you think you're going to just be famous by hooping and hollering at the bottom of somebody's driveway? Yeah, I said that because I can. You can't see up the driveway, pilgrims. So neighbors who was talking to Betty, how do you know what the fuck was going on up there? Excuse my language. How do you know what was going on up there? You can't see up the driveway. So you can't see up near the front of the house, the side of the house. So how do you know what was going on? How do you know who was up there? How do you know who was coming and going? You would only know from gossip. So were you listening to stuff in the YouTube queue and you spun off of that? So when these people came to town riding in on broke down donkeys back in the winter, I said that, you decided to fluff up the story pertaining to a child lost and her goofy parents to give them something to put on YouTube. I'm just saying, because what is the truth? Because I don't know what went on between Candace and Boy H. I doubt that Boy H will probably ever tell the truth. If there was something hanky-panky going on between he and Candace Bly, a lot of you believe that something went on between the two. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. But the point is, Candace is never going to tell you that because she knows she will go to jail for messing with a child. And Boy H would be ashamed to let people know that a grown woman looking like a man had been groping him. I said that. Come on now. Now, some young people don't mind telling the truth. There have been many boys who have confessed that they were having sexual relations with their teacher, older women, because usually boys like to kiss and tell. Yes, that's the one thing about being a boy. They haven't learned manners at a tender age. So they kiss and they tell. Ooh, you won't believe what she did to me. She kissed me. She sent me pictures, blah, blah, blah. You understand where I'm going. So are there any other parties out there that know what happened between Boy H and Candace Bly? Please tell us. Why not? Month 10, hell. Jump out the clown car too. I must say, after visiting the carnival the other day, I realized the clown car is awfully big in the Holler. This is the biggest clown car that I have ever seen. It is right now the size of a damn 747. So therefore, there's room for somebody else to come out by month 11 to tell us what the hell happened to Little Girl Lost, Pookie, Ray Ray, Bubba, Mary Sue, Minnie Sue. You get where I'm going. How do you know what went on up there? I'll wait. Did you do the right thing and call officials, Department of Human Services, to tell that there's shenanigans going on with an adult and a child? What if we do find out later that Boy H had sexual relations with Candace? How will some of you feel? How will his mother feel? Does she know the truth? Was there something actually going on? Because now, I don't know. Maybe I need to ponder this more. I do not believe in throwing out accusations on something I don't know anything about, but I'm just wondering what's the truth. And as far as another party saying he sent pictures to Candace, that person isn't reliable, Mr. Don, because you can't believe anything that comes out of the mouth of Donald Wells. So anything out of his mouth it means nothing to me. Bring me a receipt. You neighbors, you're like a lot of people. You wait to the last minute to bring forth information, whether it's true or not. I saw this, he said this, she did this, they always had this going on. Oh, what's the point? Because you see, the thing I don't like about, as they say, kissing and telling after the fact, is that it's after the fact. And it doesn't mean anything when somebody's missing or they're dead. How's it going to help the dead person? How's it going to help the missing person? See, some things that people tell can be relevant. But this here about a child and a grown-up, is it relevant? Because what people are going to ask you is, why didn't you tell law officials that the woman was messing with a child? And how would you know that? And naturally, if you were to speak to a detective, he or she would ask you, well, how do you know she was messing with a boy? Did you see them touching, kissing, groping? What is your receipt to this information, allegation? Because you're going to have something concrete for them to investigate felonious behavior of an adult and a child. So were you just feeding into the nonsense that was on the ground? The messy boots on the ground came to town you decided to help feed the rhetoric and the bullshit. Because, see, a lot of you have forgotten that this is about a little girl. You've made it about everybody else but Summer Wells. Everything about the story is about Pookie, Ray Ray, Bubba, paint cans and concrete and everything but her. Barking dogs, starving dogs. Who shot JR? Nothing about her. You know, roaches and bed bugs and lice and just who likes sex with men and what the hell are you talking about? You're not talking about nothing. I mean, if you people could hear yourselves, let Queen give you a fact check. Because I'm good at fact checking. If you didn't know. If you could go and play your own commentary. This is what, see, I listen to myself after I go live. I always play my lives back and see where I could do a little, you know, scrubbing and cleaning. So I advise those of you who go live, please re-listen to your lives. You should do that. You should always re-listen to your lives because you do miss some things in the midst of talking and gabbing and letting other people's talk and gab. And also look at your chat. You need to check your chat out too because it be some felonious BS down in there too. If you would listen to yourself, creator, Messy Boots, all of you all that like to talk and gab and jump on panels, if you would listen to yourself, the part of your brain that's supposed to be functioning should tell you, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Why are you doing that there? Pookie, Bubba Sue, Billy Bob, why are you doing that on a live stream that's going to be recorded and shifted around and spread from here to Mars? Why are you saying those things? You can't take it back, can you? Will you apologize if you are wrong about what you said about somebody? An allegation? Your opinion? Do you think you should be saying those things on a live stream? People in Europe, China can hear those things you're saying. They share it with their friends on Facebook and Pookie Book and TikTok and IG and Twitter. Some of this BS has even made it to the national news, such as Court TV. Shut up, Queen. YouTubers on Court TV. Now, that's interesting, but I'm going to leave that alone. Listen to your lives when you're done. Just go back and play your video and listen to yourself. And ask yourself, if you can find a sane part of your brain that functions, should I have been up there doing that live? If you have a sane part of your brain, which some of you probably don't have, if at any point that it decided it wanted to work on that fateful day, it would tell you, hell no, you didn't have no business up there talking because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Some of you need to stop talking. Just stop talking. Because as somebody was saying in my comment section, and thank you all for the very, very kind comments on the last video I made. You people are just saying stuff and just aiding these lunatics out here. And that's one thing that the people who make the videos don't seem to understand is that you are also becoming a part of the show, the SHIT show. Because you're aiding it. And when you bring them on to repeat something they've said 1,001 times, you can't say you don't know what you're doing. You can't say it's free speech. It's, oh, well, they got something they want to say. Well, they've already said it to 4 or 5 other people. What could be different round 6, round 4? Then why do you care? Because if it's not anything about the child, then what is it about? And I don't trust the neighbors at this point. I'm not saying all the neighbors because you'd have to count each person that live on one street, and I don't have that kind of time. What is the truth about what they saw and didn't see in that area in general, pertaining to the Wells children and Summer? Do they have concrete evidence of the children being mistreated, abused, anybody abusing the children, felonious behavior with the children? And what you have to ask yourself, if they had information, did they reveal it to the law officials, tell it to the TBI, the same thing you told this woman that Betty was talking about on Dolly Vision? Did you all go to the police? Because I didn't hear that part mentioned in the conversation. And how would you know what's going on? See, this is why you have to be careful with listening to gossip. Because one, I'm going to ask you, well, how do you know she was messing with a boy, 15-year-old boy? Tell me how you know. See, I don't let you just say to me, Pookie did this, Ray Ray did this. I'm going to ask you, how do you know and where did you get the information from? A sensible person will always ask for a source. If you say, well, I heard it in the street, or Shamikwa told me, that ain't good enough. Did any of you neighbors see Candace Bly Wells inappropriately engaged with boy H? If you did you call law officials to report the said information? Or did you do like most people, you just gossip about it and kept it moving? What do the neighbors know about 110 Ben Circle Way? I'm curious. You all make jokes, the Hills have eyes. Well, obviously the Hills don't have eyes, because if they had eyes, they'd know what happened to Summer Wells. How about that? Just saying. Everybody knows what Candace was doing with her spare time. He said and she said, well, then where the hell is Summer? Since you all know so much about what the hell was going on in her house, what the hell was going on her property, then tell me where the child is. Stop the nonsense. Well, where is she? You know every damn thing. You know all about red trucks with ladder racks and all this old type of foolishness. Then where is the baby? Because like I said, you can't see the house from the road. So how are you going to tell me what the hell was going on up in her house? Who was walking around naked? Who was doing what? See, it doesn't mean anything 10 months in, 6 months in, 7 months in to repeat gossip. Bring a damn receipt. And then what you also have to remember, somebody's going to think that maybe you were down with whatever was going on up that 110 Ben Circle Way. How about that? Come on with it, Queen. They ain't ready for that. Maybe you were a part of the madness. You were up in there getting crunk, drunk, turned up, popping pills, shooting up. I don't know how them Wells were getting down up there on that mountain. But maybe some of you neighbors got down with them too. Now you want to come out and start testifying, or as we black folks say in the street, test the line about what the hell the Wells was doing. Maybe you was up in there with them doing some old felonious stuff. And you saw how the children were living and doing this and that. Jody Combs, you in the wrong playhouse, baby. I don't need no correction. I say it the way the hell I want to say it. Ben Hill Circle Way Drive. How about that? You must live up there for you to be worried about how the hell I'm saying it. Look, girl, find something to do, baby. This is the playhouse for the big dogs. You're not ready to hang with the queen, honey. Go find you a Twizzler to chew on. It's the wrong playhouse. As I was so rudely interrupted by Alley Cat, the only way you would know what's going on up there is if perhaps you've been up there hanging around, doing stuff with these people. You up there getting drunk, crunk, they smoking weed, smoking crack, meth, ice, whatever. You up there with them, so you know what's going on. And is that possibly what has been going on? The neighbors have also been imbibing and enjoying the drugs of choice up at 110 Ben Circle Way. Did you hear that? Jody Combs, I said it. Ben Circle Way. I call it what I want to call it. It's my show. You pay the Wi-Fi, you want to pay the Wi-Fi bill, then we'll call it Ben Circle. How about that? You see this all the time on the news. When something terrible happens, people come out in droves telling you what happened. Yeah, this was going on. Kind of like the mess out there in Texas. When they found the dead child in the house, been in an apartment for 11 months, decaying in a room, covered up by the nasty mother and her boyfriend. Her children and herself and boyfriend living in an apartment with a dead corpse for 11 months. And the neighbors smelled the decay. They complained to the landlord, manager. Nobody ever came around to see what the hell was going on in that apartment. Why not? People were complaining about bugs coming through their house, through the vents, through the plumbing. Nothing. I want you all to think about that for a second. A dead body decaying inside of an apartment for 11 months, and nobody did a damn thing until one of the children decided he couldn't take it anymore, and he told on his mother. Now, fast forward over to 110 Ben Circle Way, Hollerville, USA. What do these neighbors know about what was going on at the Mount? What did they actually see up on the property? Because as I said, you can't see from the drive. So you'd have to have been up there meddling in the whale's business to know what they're doing. See, it's not like living in an apartment where you can look out the peephole and see people coming and going, hear their conversations through the walls, through the doors to say, oh, they're having a fight. Oh, they're cooking pizza. Oh, they're cooking hamburgers tonight. Oh, they've got Pookie Ray Ray coming in and out of the door. It's different. You can see, you can hear. But up on the mountain, you can't see or hear anything unless you got a damn drone. So I'm going to ask you neighbors one more time that talked to Betty, how do you know what Candace was doing with Boy H? Or are you just feeding the flames because you know about YouTube, you've heard the stories, and you wanted to add a little fluff to the story. But adding fluff and accusations of a 15-year-old kid who's already been doused with gasoline, how is that helping him? How is it helping the case pertaining to Summer Wells? It wasn't helping if it's a lie. And in the end, Summer's still missing. See, that's the part of the story some of you have forgot. You're too busy talking about what these other side pieces are talking about on YouTube. The child is still missing. And 9 times out of 10, she's probably not alive. So it will be a recovery of her remains. Why don't you let that sink in for a bit? Recovery of remains. Not a whole person. Remains. Not a whole person, but remains. So you have to be very careful listening to gossip about people in general, even when they're alive. He said, she said, he did this, she did that. Everything's about interpretation. And everything's also about the messenger. What is the messenger gaining by repeating this and that? About what Pookie did, what Bubba did. Bubba did this. Bubba gets turned up on the weekends. How do you know Bubba gets turned up when you can't see Bubba from the driveway? Stay woke. Is this the latest gossip at the Dollar General, the gas station? Candace and Don got drunk tonight. Did you hear about it? Is that what they do in the Holler? Talk about Don and Candace? Of all the people living out in Beach Creek community, I'm just asking, what is the truth about these people? Who are these people? What we've seen of these people is not nice. They seem to be empty vessels floating through life without a care in the world. And their children have paid the ultimate price for them not caring. And sadly and ignorantly, their side pieces, acquaintances have jumped on the bandwagon to bring the 211. And that's black folks talk for half-ass stories. Not 411, but the 211. See, you don't know what to believe. Because I always tell people, always look at the people in the story and look at the people carrying the bone. And if the people carrying the bone mimic the people in the story, you should be very careful of the information, because perhaps all that he said and she said is just spite because they all fell out with each other, which we've seen that all the people who had something to say about the Wells no longer speak to the Wells. I tell you to stay woke. Kind of like the shit going on over there with Allie, where she lives with grandma. Your neighbors testifying to YouTubers about what's going on over there because somebody don't like you. See, you getting retribution back for telling on Candace. The boomerang will fly back home. Stay woke. Candace did this. Candace did that. And then before you know it, that boomerang came right back over there to grandma's house in Kingsport. Shut up, Angela. I will not. Ting! Two grown-ass women arguing out probably government housing. You all are stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. He said and she said and you did this and they did that. You see, you have to be careful. See, Allie, you didn't think about that either. You ran to YouTube giving the 211 about Candace and her children and Don and whatever gossip you spun, because I've never listened to any of the interviews you gave on YouTube. I don't have that kind of time. I can't channel hop. I'm a big girl. I don't have that kind of time. You channel hop, trying to give us the 211 pertaining to your dealings with Candace. And who knew that months later, somebody would be filming you and talking about what the hell was going on at your grandmama's house. And another thing, since you like going live with your baby daddy, why you don't have a place to live, big girl? I'm curious. Since you like opening Pandora's box, because it's a mighty big box over there in Kingsport. Shut up, Queen. Why don't you have a place to live? See, this is what I don't understand about some of you all that get on social media. You don't even think about how you look, your image. And none of us are perfect. Let me say that. By no means is Queen perfect. You understand? But I'm not getting ready to just show all of me and tell you everything I see, hear, doing. Come on now, that wouldn't make no sense. This wouldn't make no sense. Because if I was to film half of the stuff that went on in my peripheral, I'd probably have to walk around with a bulletproof vest on. That's just common sense. Somebody would get mad. Somebody want to come for me. Come on now. But you all don't care. You just show everything. Every belly roll, stained clothes, can't talk. You got the whole front of the street where we could see where you live. So everybody now who's never even been to Kingsport, Tennessee knows where you live. Just think about that for a second. I know everything and don't even know you. I could go right now, drive to Kingsport and show somebody a picture of that video of where you all are standing on the sidewalk like a bunch of dumbasses, and somebody could guide me right to your front door. See, you're not very bright because you see, we live in a world where people are sick and ill, and somebody might want to do something to you just out of spite, kind of like what you've been doing to Candace. Now, I'm not saying you're in the wrong or the right, or Candace is in the wrong or the right. But what I'm trying to make you understand is that SHIT can come back to your front door, sweetheart. And that's not your house where you're bringing the SHIT back to. That is your grandmother's house. So if something pops off there, she will be the one that has to stand account for the pop off, not you. So you don't care about your grandmother to be standing outside arguing with your neighbor about whatever she's accusing you of while live on another YouTuber's channel. And she thought that was cute, the YouTuber. But yeah, I put you in your place too because your ass is grimy too. And I don't give a damn who likes you. You're grimy too. Because that's disrespectful. Because you can't say that you're a decent person with content and you're going to have somebody on your live arguing with another person that people have been talking about on social media and they're going toe-to-toe on a live on your channel. Now, how is that respectful? Come on now. Now I'm going to call a spade a spade. You see, you people hold court behind cameras and lives because you're nowhere near the madness. There's only a few of us YouTubers that talk about this case that actually live near Hollerville, such as myself. I'm just up the road, 1 hour. I can get up there in a minute and just sit out there and stand out there and look like a dumbass filming for what reason? To say what? To prove a point of what? It's just ridiculous. But you're not thinking about your grandmother. And I'm assuming that's probably some form of government housing, not to be facetious, but just saying. Why are you trying to mess up her good thing? And somebody put a comment in my comment section that your children are in the custody of your grandmother. Because see, all that time when you were talking to Dun Dun, I thought that was your mama. Shut up, Angela. So somebody been laying down having children awfully young. Because your mama, I thought, was near the age of Candace when I saw them in the picture together eating at Chili's last spring. So I didn't really pay attention to who's who got wrinkles, who ain't. I know grandma's the oldest one in the group, but damn, you standing out there on Front Street, Sherry, I thought was a friend or a sister. I didn't know that was your damn mama. So how old are you, Allie? I'm curious. You see, you need to check yourself. All of you all need to check yourselves. All of you that's been testifying before the court about the Wells. You've been talking and talking and endlessly talking, and now you have ventured to YouTube like you are a damn Kardashian, which you are not. Let me make that clear. Ain't none of you a damn Kardashian. Or Jenner or nobody else. Shut up, Angela. So stop what you're doing. All this flubbering around. If you all can see yourselves, you look like wet seals. Stinky, stanky, wet seals flapping your ass around on the ground. Please stop. You tend to forget you're only on YouTube because of Summer Wells. I'm going to finally say it. I'm going to say her name in the midst of the BS. You are only on YouTube because of a missing 6-year-old. And you all need to stop because it's so disrespectful. We would have had nothing to talk about pertaining to this child if you all had stayed off of social media. All we would have is what Ronnie Lawson had to bring to us and TBI. That's it. You all have decided to come out with your little dirty, stanky drawers on, trying to tell us about this and that, and who did what, who stole your money, who's sleeping with who liked who mad at who, and none of that is telling me where the child is. Just that the mama was ranked, the daddy's ranked, and hung with some street folks. All of you are street people. And you neighbors, I don't know what's the truth to who said what to Betty, but I don't even care about that because I don't trust anybody in the story. I don't trust none of the stuff you all are telling us. Some of it might have some truth to it, but in the end, what does it have to do with the baby? You all could have kept your conversations private and let the law enforcement spin this story about Summer. But you could not do that. You had to run to YouTube. You run to the YouTubers like they are somebody famous. They ain't Gayle King. They ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Robert Muir. You people, that's why I tell you all, you just see yourselves talking. You just run to these people. Sitting up there, your hair ain't combed, you ain't brushed your teeth, you ain't washed your tail, you don't wear decent clothes. Let's talk about that when you're going live. Standing on street corners talking like a bunch of thugs, wannabe gangster, hillbilly thugs. You're standing out in 20, 30-degree weather talking to some YouTubers who barely got a pot to piss in themselves about nonsense. Utter nonsense. You sound stupid. He said and she said, and he did this and she did that. Yeah, flock of chickens. Exactly. Perfectly. Thank you for that, Mick. A flock of chickens. Just going on and on and on and on. You act like you got no kids. You act like your kids don't watch YouTube, social media. Damn. Wake up. All of you need to wake up. Just stop it. And you know what's sad? I'm making this video now about your clown ass, and you still will go on live and talk. You still will go on live and talk about taking a piece up to somebody's house. Who did what? Who shot JR? Who you sleeping with? What type of sex you like? And I'm just like, did they not know that somebody was just talking about their dumb ass on YouTube? And yet they still will go live. Exactly. Stay on live. Poor kids. Well said. These people act like they don't have children. These people act like they don't have a livelihood. These people act like the boomerang can't come back and meet them at their front door. You have to be very careful about the things you talk about on social media, the things you post about yourselves, the things you tell about yourselves, posting where you live. It's very dangerous. There's no way in hell I'm getting ready to sit up here and let everybody see where I stay. Have my address on a video. You see, Chris Madonna don't stay where you stay. He don't pay your bills. These other YouTubers don't pay your bills. So you're blindly letting these people know where you live, the cars you drive, have access to your personal life, all for 2 minutes of talking about utter nonsense. See, that's something a fool would do. Yeah, you gave us something to talk about because we didn't know anything. We didn't know anything. So yeah, people ran with it. That's just common sense. That's what people do. But it's out of control now. Because now the thing that you're doing things is irreprehensible. It's disrespectful to the child and to the children. And it's disrespectful to your own children. And you all act like you don't have children. And this commentary is mainly about the neighbors, but I'm spinning off with the neighbors because it's all tied in conjunction together with the gossip and the he said and the she said pertaining to Candace, her children, Boy H, other felonious behavior of the parents. What do you all know about these people? And if these people were so terrible in your eye, then you should have went to law enforcement and said something about their behavior, felonious behavior, while rearing children. Instead of gossiping about it now on YouTube, you should have been at the sheriff's department saying, here, I have information pertaining to these people and their children. They're having sex with grown children, older children, whoever. They're using drugs, they're doing this and that. That way you can sleep well at night knowing you did the right thing. But running to social media 10 months in, 8 months in, what does it mean? What does it mean? Because there's a little girl missing and 3 children are now in the state's care. And they deserve to be in the state's care. Because nobody stepped up to take the children in, so the state had to do their job by taking in the boys. That's just the way it goes. But the children do not need to be in the care of Donald and Candace. And Allie, you don't need your children, and that thing that you laid down with, he doesn't need to have access to children either. You all are violence. You know what. And I'm leery about the neighbors who have actually been speaking and talking to these messy boots on the ground. Because if you have knowledge that there was something felonious going on with the Wells and their children and other children, did you contact law enforcement? Because to this day, Candace has not been arrested for giving Boy H alcohol. Maybe the law doesn't feel it's enough to bring her in on that charge, but a charge is a charge. Wrong is wrong. And it's already been spun on social media for 10 months now, so why not? Arrest her. It's already out. The cat's out of the bag. She fed a child vaping products and alcohol, and he's under the age of 18 and 21. And the law says he's got to be what? 18 to smoke cigarettes, 21 to drink. So she broke the law. And it is what it is. Well, Michelle, you're right. Perhaps Summer would still be here had people stepped up and did the right thing. That's why we have to ask ourselves that too. All these people making allegations that they called the state on Candace. Allie made accusations that she, her mom, or whomever called. Well, what happened with those calls? Because see, that's why I said you have to question everything that's been said thus far pertaining to these people. Was there an open investigation pertaining to the Wells children before the 15th of June, 2021? If there was, what is the outcome? What has been done? And if they were investigated beforehand, what happened? Because the children were still in their care after the 15th, and one was missing. It's jacked up, messed up, the situation. It has become a laughing joke. This case is all about the Wells associates, not about little girl lost. And it's atrocious. And what you all have been doing, those of you who knew Summer, you are Val, and you creators are aiding them by talking to them and letting them spin the web and lies up on your channels. You're not doing any justice for Summer. You can't say, I'm helping find her. I'm helping get information. You're not helping get anything out there because 9 times out of 10, the child is so disposed of, you wouldn't find her. So you're not helping anything by allowing these people to have a voice or opinion on your network. If they wanted to get their own channel, social media page to talk about, birds and the bees, whatever, that's their prerogative. But there's no way I would let anything this vile sit up on my panel and talk about nothing. The first time I hear your commentary, you spinning that he said, she said stuff, there would be nothing for me to talk to you about. For what? Because the only thing you're going to do is rehash what you just said over there on Pookie Street. So what is it that you're going to bring to everyday shenanigans? Yeah, somebody to click and view the video. That's about it. But how are you helping me? Just put some coins in my pocket. Let's keep it real. And in the end, you do have to stand account for what you aid and what you speak on, be it on YouTube or not on YouTube. You see, all these people are evenly yoked. And I'm starting to wonder about the neighbors over there in the Beach Creek community that align with the House of Summer. Wells, parents, what do you all know about these people? And have you done diligence by telling law officials beforehand? Because spinning a web after the fact, it's too late. The little girl's gone, possibly dead. So what would be the point after the fact? Hey, let me tell you this. Hey, let me tell you what I heard. This is the reason why TBI and law officials, Hawkins County, have told you what they've told you about this case being such a mess with the he said and the she said and the tips that went nowhere. Somebody has to take that information. Somebody has to write that information down, put it into the computer. Somebody has to pass it on to the detective. Then that persons have to go out to the street to investigate the information that you gave. And possibly the information that you gave was a lie. Gossip. So how's that helping find Summer Wells? And some of you think this is a joke. You're still going off all that hocus pocus, unicorn talk, psychic readings, and all that old BS. Ain't nobody got time for that. This child needed help. She didn't get it. And Allie sitting up here with her fat ass acting like she's a friend to Candace. Whether Candace is in the wrong or not as a parent, stole from you or whatever, you still saw how they were living, what was going on with them. You still hung with Candace. So you just as trifling as Candace. Don't try to sit up here and act like you better than her. You ain't. Ain't none of you better than Candace or Dawn. And as far as Dawn talking about her friends, well, you were a party to it too, Donna Wells. You married her, you dated her, you mated her, you make babies with her. You saw her disposition, and your disposition was no better than Candace Bly. First of all, you were older than her, so you should have been a better example. So you in no means can Dawn ever judge Candace Bly Wells. Not now, not never. Because you're the one sitting in jail. Candace is free. So all you have in this storyline is the blind leading the blind. Everybody trying to sit up, act like they're better than the other person. But all of you stink. All of you are stinky, nasty, wet seals. Every single one of you. All of you are nasty. I've seen how you look, how you all carry yourselves in public. You stand outside in nasty looking clothes. So that leads me to believe that underneath those clothes is some stinky, nasty, stanky flesh. Because there's no way I'm going to stand out on the sidewalk, half dressed and looking nasty. Clothes hanging off of my body. That ain't how the queen rocks. And all these stories about head lice and cooties and this and that, all of you spinning the story, you don't look no better than Candace Bly Wells. I'm going to say that. So you got nerve to sit up and talk about Candace when you don't look any better than Candace. And you hung with Candace, so you were right there in the filth, the cooties, the lice, her locking baby Summer in the dungeon down there. You witnessed that, and you still probably stayed her friend knowing she was locking that baby down there in that damn tomb. So fuck all that shit you talking about. She this, she that. Because see, what you ain't told, big girl, is how long you stayed friends with Candace after you knew she was locking that baby down there in that damn basement. You told that. You told that. Now your fat ass sit up here on YouTube, want to keep talking stupid talk with your baby daddy, a stinking ass bisexual man up there talking about screwing and licking other men. Y'all nasty. And I ain't guess none of you thought about somebody having fucking AIDS and HIV while y'all spreading y'all ding-dongs around with different folks. Yeah, I'm going to get greedy grimy because that's what y'all like, that old nasty talk. All of you laying up with a man, sleeping with men. You think he using a condom? He ain't. He ain't used no condom. And anybody talking about licking men for money? Are you serious? You people better wake up. This is disgraceful. And it has no business in the same connotation about a missing kid. Thank you, Eula. Nothing about these people are relevant to Summer. They are a disgrace. And it's sick that her parents were in the company of this gutter trash. But birds of a feather. That's why you have to be careful of the company you keep. Your friends talk like that, hoop and holler, straighten them out and tell them, hey, I can't hang with you. You're going to be talking like that. I don't rock like that. Hey, your kid's in the room. I was just around somebody recently who was talking like that, talking crazy people talk. And we had to tell her, hey, pipe it down. There's kids in the room. You don't talk like that with kids in the room, cussing and fussing and using derogatory language. It's disrespectful. And sadly, the daughter had to check the mother and tell her, hey, my son's listening to what you're saying. And that's what you all don't understand when you're cussing and talking sex talk and calling people MFs and Bs. Children can hear that and they pick up on that and they will go out to the street and use the same kind of language. This is not a joke because these vile demons have children in their peripheral and in their custody and they have no business with children. Okay. I've had enough of you. Take the preacher somewhere else. I'm not interested. If I wanted to go to church, I'd have went to church Sunday. Enough of this. I'm almost an hour in. And it's sad I have to sit up here and preach. But I preach from experience. And I'm telling you, you will become a product of what you are in the midst of. That what you loathe, you have a chance of becoming. It happens every day. You will become the thing you loathe. And this is sad and sickening and pathetic that all this is playing out. That's why I do not put that child's name up on my channel. Only when it is the anniversary of her missing. It's the only time I usually put her name up on my channel. But other than that, I don't put her name in the title with nothing pertaining to foolishness. I don't even really like mentioning her name in the same conversation of foolishness. Because it's disrespectful. And these people you're listening to, they're just animals. You have pets, dogs, and cats that don't behave like this. I said that. The dog and cat can't talk. But the point is they don't behave like these two-legged creatures here. Imagine seeing a dog or a cat, a monkey, a goat walking around talking like these vile two-legged creatures. Just picture it. A billy goat going live, talking about what he wants to do to another billy goat. A dog going live, talking about what he wants to do to another dog, a cat, or monkey. Just picture it. Yeah, I know you can't. You can't imagine a dog or billy goat going live, talking about sexual acts with another dog or cat. That's the point. So why is a human doing it? Because you don't care about yourself. You don't care about yourself. Just like I told somebody recently, you don't love yourself. They said, oh, I love myself. You can't love yourself because the things you're doing to others shows you don't love yourself, because you can't go out here mistreating other people deliberately and doing things to them that's not right, that's malicious, that's manipulation, and in the same breath say you love yourself. You can't love yourself when you're out here mistreating other people. There's no such thing. You'll never admit it to yourself that you don't like yourself. You've told people you don't like yourself. So how are you going to say you love yourself? See, Queen remembers everything. I keep a Rolodex upstairs. And if you're whining and crying about your life at near 40 years of age, you're moaning about what isn't right with your life and moaning about what people think of you and expectations of you, you're telling me you don't like yourself, you don't love yourself. So you can't days later say you love yourself when I know that you don't, because of the way you treat other people. You're picking and choosing when to be nice and when not to be nice. That's not right. When they haven't done anything to you. You all need to think about how you talk and act. Whether you are on social media or not, people keep account of the things you do and say. That's why people bring up stuff that you did. It's common sense. We all do it. Remember when you said this? Remember when you did that? And women, we're known to keep account. It's what we do. Men don't really care. But women, we do this. We keep account. And the things that you all are doing pertaining to this child is disrespectful. It's heinous. Because you really are showing the world that you don't care anything about her. And you need to stop saying anything about her. If you want to talk about yourself on your channel or somebody else's network, that's your prerogative. But don't mention Summer Wells' name. You don't have the right to mention her name. Because you honestly and earnestly do not have self-respect for yourself. So therefore, you don't have any respect for Summer Wells, her brothers, or your own damn kids. And you should stop saying her name. Just stop it. The neighbors. What is the truth about the neighbors and what they know about 110 Ben Circle Way? Have they been a party to the madness also, but are pretending that they are not cut from the same cloth? Because now we have to ask, have the neighbors been also involved in drinking and hooping it up with the Wells? And they're not really telling the whole story. Are some of those neighbors just as guilty as the Wells? They saw the abuse, the neglect. Because it came to me from a source when this story first came up, that some of you were up on the property. So that means you saw how the Wells were living. So perhaps some of you have also been in the inside before the child went missing. And you know a little bit more that you're not willing to share with the general public. You only want to give bits and pieces. And that is what a lot of people do, as not to be judged. I don't want people to really know I hung with these people. I drank wine with them or drank a beer with them. I saw the abuse. I saw the neglect of their children. I saw how they treated and talked to their children. But I sat idly by having my beer, wine, smoke, whatever. Bought drugs, sold drugs with them, however it went. See, people don't tell you all that. Because they don't want to be judged. But they want to come a day late, dollar short, and tell you what the hell allegedly was going on up there on the property. See, that doesn't mean anything to me because I don't know you. And I don't know if you're telling me the truth or not. So, were their neighbors in conjunction with the Wells hanging, loitering with them up there? What's the truth? And don't you find it strange that 10 months in, you don't have one decent human being that has come forward to speak on behalf of Donald and Candace Wells as a friend, as a family member? Just a bunch of outside monkeys that they hung with on occasion or two. Co-worker of Don, Allie, Boy H, this Jody Sue character, a Jenna from God knows where. Just a bunch of people in the fold briefly. Out the fold. Gone. Poof. Voila. Magic. Disappeared. Everybody has something bad to say about Candace Bly Wells. But yet, you was in the fold and saw something wasn't right, but you went on in there any damn way. Kind of like the house is on fire and you want to go in there and retrieve what exactly? It's not your house. It's burning down. So what do you want to go in there for? It's exactly what you all have been doing, those who jumped in this case. You were going into a burning building where nothing inside of the building belonged to you. So why you want to go in there? Help me understand. The building is on fire, but yet nothing belongs to you inside of the building. Make the queen understand the desire to go into a burning building where nothing inside of the building belongs to you. Why? Where are the genuine friends and family of Don and Candace Bly? Where are they? They obviously do not exist. They have been down here in the holler living and fraternizing with all types of people, and not one has been a true, genuine friend to them, because perhaps they could never be truly genuine to these individuals because they are tainted. So all of you all have been a lying mess to one another, and you've sat idly by in the mess, and you only came forward when the little girl went missing to give your rendition of your time on the mount, which means nothing at this point because it's too late. Summer is gone. The boys are in foster care. Donald Wells is in jail, and Candace is out here flopping around like a wet chicken. And you all are standing by, clapping and laughing at her, making a fool out of herself. And she doesn't get it because she's tainted as well. And she doesn't see the damage she has done to her children and herself. But only time will tell if she will pay the piper for harming her girl child and her boys. See, Candace is numb because she's been numb. So is Donald. That's why he's done the things he has done. He is a narcissist, and he has never cared for anyone, never himself nor his children. Same thing with Candace. She has been blindly leading in the world, going about her merry way, stepping over people because that's all she knows. That is why she and Don cross paths in the universe. See, that's the one thing you don't seem to understand about life. That these two people never knew each other, but they crossed the paths and had similar paths before they met one another. And they are evenly yoked in madness and mischief. And they bore children together to only lose all 4 children. You think the universe was playing games? It was not. It was fate. Everywhere you are is where you're supposed to be, is what Mr. T.D. Jakes has said. The infamous Bishop T.D. Jakes. That you are where you are for a reason, whether you like it or not. Agree, disagree. You are in the place you were supposed to be. And many of us would denounce this, especially if we are unhappy in the place that we are. I don't want to be here. I want out. I want to be somewhere else. I deserve better, need better, want better, hungry, thirsty for better. I need more. See, that is what you're seeing play out on social media pertaining to this monkey show in the holler and on YouTube. You all are thirsty and lonely and wanting more. You want to be validated. You want to be important. So these monkeys have given you something to talk about on your channel, to put a few coins in your pocket. And I can't hate the player. As they say in the street, hate the game. Because this is a game. It's survival of the fittest. YouTube is a conglomerate which makes money off of everybody. Stay woke. So in some degree, you can't even blame the creator for the content, because YouTube orchestrates all of this. So don't forget that. It makes its coins off of all the videos, whether you like it or not. But there comes a point when a person needs to own his or her part in the content. And this is out of control. Well, you can't be a friend to someone if you're not genuine. That's common sense. And none of these people I believe, are genuine. They're only genuine to some degree, but they have a lot of work to do because they are all tainted people. So therefore, they're going to always have problems with others. And it won't matter who they talk to. They're going to have a problem with somebody. Candace will always have a problem with somebody. Don will always have a problem with somebody. Allie will always have a problem with somebody. Baby daddy of H will have problems with somebody because they are all tainted and they are blind by their own foolishness. Thank you, CR. They're jacked up. And they don't even see that they're jacked up. And I'm going to tell you all something that is the obvious pertaining to bringing information forward after the fact. Many people do not like to get involved in people's business. And here in the dirty South, it's like many places up north, Chicago, New York, there are people who don't like to get involved in people's business. They do not gossip. They do not pass information. They don't talk about what's going on across the street because they feel like it's none of their damn business. And sometimes it is best to stay out of people's business because you can get yourself hurt. You can get into it with your neighbors to where you end up 6 feet under. And that's possibly what is going on out there in Beach Creek. They heard the stories of what was going on the mountain. People stayed out of it. It's none of their concern. But the gist of the story is, could your knowledge have helped the children beforehand? Because repeating it afterwards is a day late, dollar short. And spinning webs afterwards usually means nothing because it can't bring the dead back and it can't undo the damage that's already been done. That's the sick part. But I believe God had a reason for everything, cruel as it may appear to some, but there's always a reason for the season. And whatever happened back in that holler, it was meant to be. Either it was by God's will or the devil, whichsoever, it was meant to be. The children were not meant to stay with the Wells. Nor would I ever want to wish harm on a child. But everything happens for a reason, sadly. And I pray that the children will have a better life now, that they are out of the care of the Wells. And I doubt that they're going back. There's a rumor that she lost custody of the children. I do not know if that's true because I don't pass those kind of rumors. And I really can't see her just saying outright she lost custody because that would make any sense. But too many months have gone by where she and Don have had ample enough time to regain custody of the boys. That's obvious. Who holds the secret to these people and their children back there in that holler? Who knew that the children were being mistreated, were not eating properly? The parents were getting drunk and getting high, but they didn't say anything. Who knew and did nothing? It's a sad day to be so far along, almost a year, and there is no vital information pertaining to the whereabouts of this child. And the only thing that has come from the storyline is a bunch of rednecks running around talking and smacking snuff and tobacco out the side of their damn mouth, making a fool out of themselves. That's the only thing I've seen. Just disgusting. And you all give Tennessee a very bad name, and I'm going to say that because you have people who are not educated themselves, who watch the story, and they think that all of us Tennesseans act and behave such as the Wells, and we do not. We don't have cooties in our house, in our hair, and in our private areas. We do not lay around getting turned up from the time the sun comes up till it goes down. We wash our clothes. We vacuum. We wash dishes. We put clean linen on our beds. We don't curse at the children and leave them unattended for hours. We don't bring every Tom, Dick, and Harry around them and let them stay in our house and be around our kids and have access to our children. We don't use drugs. Everybody is not like the whales. And there are some good country folk down here, just like anywhere else in America. You have vile people in New York, California, Florida, Tennessee, Chicago. It's all the same. You have nasty, filthy mouth people who are vile. They don't care for the children. They don't keep a clean house. They don't keep up with their children's homework, demeanor, bathing them. They do this everywhere. And if you think it's only here, then you are delusional. We have wonderful people here in the state of Tennessee. This is the volunteer state, for those of you who do not know. And while those YouTubers were here, that's what they should have told you about the state of Tennessee. That's why I know when they came, they didn't do their homework. You should have told people the truth of who we are here in East Tennessee. We are the volunteer state, which means we help people here. People come here from all over the world and have done good here, better than where they came from, and have thrived. Some have not thrived so well, but that was their choice. This is the easiest place to live in the world. The easiest place to live and get by with minimal money. So there is no excuse for what you have seen play out on YouTube pertaining to Don and Candace Wells, their children, Allie, Boy H, none of it. It was a choice for all of these heathens to live in squalor and to live from pillar to post, sleep from pillar to post, and walk around unkempt. That it's their choice. We have numerous food pantries. We have numerous churches who offer clothes for free. We have medical clinics that are free. We have the health department, which will aid you for free medical care, depending on your income. You are also entitled to get food stamps and medical care, depending on any type of illnesses you have that can give you medical care if you do not work. So I'm going to say this to you for the last time. There is no reason for anybody in the state of Tennessee to be without. Not now, not never. What you have seen in the Holler is by choice and choice only. It is by no means a reflection of any of us that reside here in the state of Tennessee. And they have given the good people of Tennessee a very bad name and image. We are not the Wells or the Mulanis. That is a sad information. If you see something, say something. Exactly. Do not wait a day late, dollar short to bring forward stories to the news and social media about what you saw. Because it doesn't mean anything if a person happens to end up dead or missing. It's neither here nor there. And if you continue to aid people like Allie, Candace, then you are cut from the same cloth and you deserve whatever comes your way. And I cannot have any pity for you or empathy, because it is a choice to act and behave the way these people have behaved. and the way they carry themselves publicly, physically, mentally. It is all their choice. And sadly, the children have paid the price for being in the care of these individuals. So what I'm going to say to all of them is stay off of social media because you look like a bunch of fucking fools. And all of you are still in the care and periphery of children, except for Candace. But Allie, your baby daddy, you all need to stop talking on social media. What I would advise you all to do is to go soak your ass in a tub of Epsom salt and peroxide and clean your bottoms and wash out your mouth and dry yourself off and start over. Do yourself a favor. Stop talking because you're nasty. You sound nasty. You look nasty. And if you look nasty, 9 times out of 10, you smell nasty. Yeah, I'm saying that. Because that's the image you have portrayed since coming out speaking about this baby and her parents. And the only thing you've done is told on yourself. See, that's the part that you missed. All the time you were dousing Candace with gasoline, you were dousing yourself with gasoline. If you want to donate to the channel, $Big 129, cash out. All super chats are welcome during the live. This is a day of back-to-back lives. I'm going to bring you some very heinous information next. Please stay tuned and join me for another live. This will be an update to breaking stories that I've brought to you on this network. There'll be some stories pertaining to Papini, a little young baby girl who was beat to death by her foster mother. As most of you know, I do not talk about new children's stories. I will only talk about stories that I've already previously done videos on. I will also bring you a very, very baffling case of a man who was luring gay men to rob them, steal their money. We will chop it up. I'll drop the link for all those said videos because it'll be a live with different subject matters intertwined. So I will drop the link in case somebody wants to give their opinion on the said story conversation if you want to join me. I thank you all for the support. 200 viewing right now. Thank you so much during the day. God bless you. This network tries to bring you the truth as I know it. I do not know any of these people that I talk about on this network. So I usually bring you a news as a source, not Billy Ray, Billy Bob, Moquisha, Marquisha. That shit don't mean nothing to me. I try to bring it to you the best I can. The truth is as I know it. But there are always going to be something in the storyline that is not going to be truthful, and that's life. So even when you get a rendition from someone, it does not mean it's the whole truth, because in the end, that's somebody's version. And a lot of you need to understand that even if I bring it from the news, that's still somebody telling that news agent their version. You're welcome, darling. Thank you all so much for the support. God bless all of you. Have a safe week. As I said, movie of the week is The First Lady, now airing on Showtime. Aired last night, first episode, season 1. Gillian Anderson, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Viola Davis are starring in this rendition of women who were married to U.S. presidents. It is posted to my community board. You're welcome, Leah. Thank you, sweetheart. The next live will be several stories intertwined. There will be updates to breaking news. Feel free to hit the link to give your opinion pertaining to these said stories. We're going to chop it up. We're going to go deep. I'm going to do a deep dive into one of the stories because we're going to talk about homosexuality, because I had said about 2 months ago I was wanting to do different pieces on homosexuality, the plight of people who are gay, transgender. So this will be a part of that commentary with this story I found yesterday of a man luring men off the date sites to steal their money and rob them. Are these men bringing it on themselves to go along with the man, or bring the man back to their home? And I also will bring you other commentary. The Petito case, I'm going to try to tie all of that in one live if I can. God bless all of you. Have a safe week. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Do not consider yourself a meddler or instigator or snitch. If it is vital to the livelihood of a child, please call 911. I've told people now, just bypass DHS altogether. Call 911 and put an end to the madness. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. I'll see you all in a few minutes. Thank you so much.